And then our realtor called yesterday and she said, hey, I've been talking to the loan officer. Your file looks great. How do you feel about closing at the end of the month? Which is next week. Today? Thursday? Yes. Today's Thursday. Okay, I don't even know what day it is. So I've like the past, I don't know what, 5 videos, been trying to film a video to update you and let you know what's going on, and then life gets crazy and here I am just throwing this together. So, let's go through what's going on. First, coffee. Coffee, yes. All right, last time we talked, we had just sold the house. It was a 4-day sale, it was awesome. Then we went into escrow. Escrow's been going great. So we have signed the papers for the title, we've had the appraisal, we've had the inspection, all of that's gone great. I even was able to meet our buyers, which never happens, and that's a really cool story. I'll have to share that later. So we've done all that. And originally, when we signed the papers for the title, our closing date was March 9th. Cool. We can do that. That was like 3 weeks away from when we had signed the papers. Awesome, on track, out of here March 9th. That's exactly when we had wanted to leave, was beginning of March. We'll be good. And then our realtor called yesterday and she said, hey, I've been talking to the loan officer. Your file looks great. How do you feel about closing at the end of the month? Which is next week. So I called Ben and I asked him, because he's still at work, and he said, yeah, I guess we could do that. That doesn't leave us much time to get out of here, because we still have a whole bunch of packing to do. So I called her back and I said, we're down, but could we get a few extra days, like maybe until next Friday, to pack and get rid of all the rest of the stuff we need to get rid of. And like the trailer is torn up right now because I'm trying to reupholster valances and I need to do like the seats and all that stuff. She said, pretty sure that will work. Let me double check with the buyers. So right now, as of this morning, we're still waiting to hear back that that's gonna be the new closing date and we have to be out of here by the 2nd, which is next Friday. Yeah. Sure, I'm gonna need more coffee. So, while we're waiting, in the past few weeks, we have sadly gotten rid of our chickens. Thank you, ladies, for feeding us, for being good chickens, for tilling the garden and working. You guys have been awesome. Gonna miss you, but you're going to good homes. Don't look at me like that. They have found new homes. We had to split up the flock between 2 families because nobody could take all 12 chickens? We have 12? Yeah.
No one took Bruce, so we just gave him 2.
Yes, and nobody took Bruce. Even all of my pleading and begging and telling him that no, he really was a nice rooster, nobody took him. So he lived with us for an extra like 4 days. And he was so, I'm gonna start crying. He was so lonely. And he would just wander around the yard and he crowed the entire time looking for his girls. And he got to the point where he would come in the house.
Like into the
like he walked through the house into the living room.
And in the house.
Oh my gosh, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. He's never come inside and he's just like, he's everywhere. I can't believe he's this far in the house.
You guys are probably going the whole way. No other chicken we pet traveled that far in the house.
I know. He's never done that before. Like, he hardly ever gives us this time of day. He knows we feed him, and that would be about it. And he would just stand at the door. So I opened the door one day and I let him in, and he stayed within about 5 feet of the door. And then the next day we let him in, and the kids were feeding him snacks, and he would eat out of everybody's hand, which he's never done before. He was so lonely, but he had to go. And nobody would take him, and I tried so many people, and I tried Facebook, and no one took him. So I took him down to the feed store, called them, and they said that he would take him. So he'll probably find a new home. And I almost cried in the feed store because it was just like so final, and it was very, very, very hard. Like, harder than I thought it would be to say goodbye to our chickens. I think we all cried a little bit saying goodbye to the chickens. So that was rough, but we know that we can get lots of chickens later on once we land and we're done traveling. And I'm hoping that people we visit, if they have chickens, we can snuggle their chickens, and that won't be weird. So that was rough. We did get rid of our chickens. We have been packing crazy amounts. I've gotten my clothes done. I don't know how, but I got it all into like 4 little totes. And that's an adventure in itself because we don't have a ton of space for storage in the trailer. Actually, here, why don't you come with me and I'll show you. Okay, so we have 2 closet things in the RV. It's not a ton of space, and I have tried every solution I could think of to get more storage in here. I wanted to do some kind of shelving unit or stacking drawers or something, and I could find drawers that would fit in the closet if I like turned them and stacked them on top of each other, but then they wouldn't open because the lip was in the way. So I finally wound up getting one of those hanging organizer things. So this is the boys.
The boys count.
And then I didn't like just the hanging organizer thing because things just like fly around. So I found these baskets and I've shoved them in there. So everybody will have a basket and all that. This is the boys' closet. They have way more space than we do.
Yeah.
Because in here on our side, Ben and I only have like 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2 for each of us. It sort of works out, but the way I had the totes stacked out was like 3 for each of us. So either we will have to shove it down there in that hole, or well, maybe we'll just take over the boys' closet some space because they don't really have as many clothes.
It's okay.
And we can stack all theirs together. So, and then we modified this area under the couch. This was really cool because before, the only access to under here was on the outside through a door. And we were like, man, there's a ton of space under there if we could get to it. So Ben modified it, took all the screws out that were attaching it to be permanent and put hinges on it. So now it hinges out. We can put things like Connects and Legos. I got a couple drawers under there. So now we have a ton of space under here, like even more if you look down. Lots of space under there to put, you know, just life stuff. And then in this little area by the door, oh, that's really dark, you can't see. I threw a really cheap shoe rack in there, so hopefully that holds up, at least for now. That'll be our pantry, you know, foodstuffs. All right, so that's where we're at on storage and trying to organize this thing so that we can actually live in it fairly comfortably, not super cramped. I also have a feeling that we're bringing way more stuff than we're actually gonna need, and there's gonna be a couple trips to Goodwill across the nation to get rid of things we don't need. So let's go back inside and talk about the rest of it. So then I think the most exciting part is tomorrow is Ben's last day of work.
Yes!
We're so excited! We are 24 hours away from being free people.
Yes.
So excited. We cannot wait for him to come home and be with us full time. He gave us 2 weeks. They're not wildly happy with him, but oh well. Sorry guys. We are gonna be off doing way better, cooler things.
Instead of being in the prison at work.
Instead of being in the prison at work. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. We have been doing stuff to the trailer besides just trying to pack all of our clothes into it. Like I said earlier, I am reupholstering balances. I need to reupholster seats. I need to make curtains. Some of this stuff I can do on the road, so I'm packing my sewing machine. If we don't get to it before we have to be out of here, I can do it while we're in the trailer. That part's okay, but you know, I'd like to have it done so we can just like be off in our new place. Trying to find the fabric was rough. We spent an hour and a half at the fabric store because I'm very picky, like really picky. And on one hand, it's not a bad thing because I find things that I really like and they look really nice. And then on the other hand, it's like it took me an hour and a half to find fabric that I really liked and that went together. But also I had to find fabric that would be durable and withstand us basically jumping around on it for a year, and that would be dirt friendly because we're gonna be outside a lot and I don't want like brown stains all over the place. And then on the outside, Ben has been working and he has put a toolbox on the back that is gonna hold all of our tools and RV stuff and, you know, the stuff that goes on the outside. The sewer tube and all that thing, all of those things. So he did an awesome job mounting that to the back. It's actually the toolbox that was in the truck. And he built a platform, welded that all up, got it secured, and we're good. And then we had the fun job of trying to mount the bike rack that we bought because now the toolbox was in the way of the hitch. So he wound up changing it to where there's a receiver. Don't dump that on your head. There's a receiver behind the toolbox that goes, it can sit in and it will go straight up with another tube, and then another receiver that comes out over the toolbox, and that's where we put the bike rack when we are driving, which is awesome. And what are you doing?
I'm a dog.
You're a dog. Okay, so lots of packing. Wednesday's our close date. Today's Thursday. That's 6 days. Saturday, we're having our going away party with friends and family, anybody who wants to come by and say goodbye.
Bye.
That one's weird. I have to get back to packing and all the other stuff that we're supposed to be doing. We're so close to being out of here.
Yes.
Are you guys excited?
Yes.
Yes? You're so excited? First things first, we're going to the beach. People keep asking us, where are you going first? What are you doing? We're going to the beach. We're gonna sit on our butts for like a week and maybe do Hearst Castle again and just relax and decompress from all the crazy stress and madness that has been trying to sell this place and get this adventure going. I can't wait. So that's our plan. After that, we're kind of thinking we might head in the direction of the Grand Canyon while it's still kind of coldish. Do that area and then come back up California because we do want to explore a lot of California before we leave, and then just go from there. I don't know. I figured the week we're at the beach we'll start mapping things out. So there we are. Life is insane and it's happening. Oh my gosh, it's so close and crazy and I feel like I'm losing my mind, but we're almost there. Just a few more days until being free people and we are on the adventure of a lifetime.
Yes.
I'm gonna need lots more coffee.